over. Hey! Thank you for joining me. I see you, Fearless. I see you. And also, thank you, both of you. Jeannie and Fearless, like, well, both of you really do a lot of promo stuff. Love it. Come to my dashboard. Sure. It looks like Facebook's trying to get some extra stuff going on. Boom. I think we're up on both places. So people, let me know if you can hear well. So today, like I said, we're going to use the Creative Flakes. We're going to use the Creative Flakes and be creative, okay? And then I actually am going to do a little bonus. We're going to do, fabulous, thank you. We're going to actually do to-do, let's share. We're going to do, boom, a little activity that does involve mixing and making a mess, because you know how I am. I would highly prefer to mix and make a mess over anything else. I love doing things that have a chemistry leaning to them, and there is a slight kind of chemistry conversation that we can have with our Creative Flakes as far as how they're produced and what they're made out of, you know, and the fact that they are a polymer and all that kind of whatnot. Boom, boom, boom. But yeah, I mean, the main thing that we're going to talk about is building with the Creative Flakes, and like I said, we're going to create a little chemistry something. But that's a bonus because I was only planning on doing one project today. Let's see if I can do 2 projects and still get out of here in a half an hour, especially after the fact that I've chit-chatted for the last 3 minutes. All right. Cool. I'm gonna go for we're up and ready and moving. So I'm gonna break out my Creative Flakes. You didn't think that just because I had new camera and new little stand and little ring light. Yes, Jeannie, I finally got a ring light. You see me? You can actually now see me now, huh? Jeannie's been asking me to get a ring light for, let's say since I've been doing this, and we're like 50 episodes in. Do you know, this is the 50th episode, people. 50th episode of Science with Miss Steph. I've done 50. Let's just take a moment to celebrate that. Do we want to? Hey, girl. Who wants to celebrate the fact that since March, having to do just an instant pivot online, this is the 50th episode. So for those of you who were here with that first real grainy, I mean like extra grainy, and I have no shame, I have no issue with sharing that, you know, for a lot of reasons, testimony reason wise, just technology reason wise, and also just like as a science instructor teaching young people, right, teaching community members that, like, yes, we work on improvement, right, we try to improve things, you know. And so and also thank you, love, and from, you know, just going live on Facebook or live on YouTube. The first one really was on YouTube, and that was like kind of, I was trying to schedule it and all that type of stuff, and that was kind of cool. And people like showed up and have watched it and all that type of stuff. By the way, hello, subscribe. Yeah. You can still like see that episode, the very first one on YouTube. But now we're here with little camera, little ring light, little setup. I'm sure y'all can notice you're a little higher up over here on Instagram, because I've got a different stand going on. And next week, hello, yes, amen, we will have a little headset. Yeah, even though the hair is fun, you still need to be able to hear me. Okay. But today we're going to break out our Creative Flakes. And as I was saying, these particular material okay, this product. And there's a couple of things. Some of them are called Creative Flakes. Some of them are called Brain Flakes or whatever. It's all the same thing. They are a plastic piece. Remember, I told you I was going to, everything gets turned into a chemistry project with me. Well, I think another fun project would be to figure out what would break these down, like if you could leave them in alcohol and leave them in water or whatever over time. If you want me to try that project, let me know. I mean, I'll probably do it just anyway. But if you want me to try that on camera and record it and upload it as a Science with Miss Steph episode, let me know. Yeah? So this is made out of a polymer. You know that if you've been watching for a while, or just if you've ever watched any slime video ever, you know that slime is a polymer. Okay? And really what it is a chemical that is comprised of small modular pieces that are then linked together, okay? And BTW, plastic, which we use a lot, okay? A lot, right? Plastic, very common thing that we use in our daily lives. Plastic is chemically speaking, a form of polymer. Now, there are different plastics, right, made from different sets of chemicals that are linked together, but that's what these are made out of, a plastic. But, you know, let's talk about how we want to use these. So there's a couple of different ways that one can use this type of thing, right? This is the same as a Lego. This is the same as a straw. Like, y'all have seen me do the straw project. This is the same as far as conceptually and what we're teaching, right? This is the same type of thing, like I said, as a Lego, as a straw, as a Connects even, right? Most of those things, and I celebrate those things as a genre of STEAM toy because they teach a lot of different concepts and children get a chance to really, hi honey, I figured it was one of you. Okay, to really get a chance to explore certain concepts. Okay, so first thing we're going to do, we're going to do two things with this one thing, and then like I said, I was going to do my little bonus, make a mess kind of situation. I mean, it doesn't have to be a mess, but you know, just letting you know, it is something that you can play with it, and tactile learners can have a good time with it. With these two, right, and these are pretty. These are little pretty sturdy little puppies there, right? I imagine to break these, and if you added heat, again, there's so many things that I could do with these other than just build something. Should you want that video, let me know. So first thing we're going to do, right, because I like to do two types of activities with these with my babies. Hello to all of you. One is encourage them to make something that's in the instruction manual, right? Let's make something that won't take us too long. Okay. As you can see, as you should have seen in the preview, I had the preview up on. I know I'm about to say something and shock you. Yes, I have a TikTok. I'll be really honest. It's not great. But I'm going to watch Curly Head Rose's video for persons of a certain matureness. And learn how to make some better TikTok videos. But anyways, I put this up on TikTok yesterday as far as how I made this. And just kind of, right? So this is one of the things that's in the manual. Okay? And I talk to my students about manuals often because the manual actually is a helpful thing. Like, it's not something that's constricting your thinking. It's something to kind of give you ideas, right? So let's make this potted plant. We're going to do that. And then we'll make something just kind of free form, okay? Those are the two ways that I would use these in the any form of classroom, our virtual classroom here, or in person. Okay, so here we go. Got some basic, it's a picture, okay? Some instruction manuals, like your snap circuits, will really explain what's happening. Your Lego situation may or may not. You know, typically Legos will just have a picture, right? So again, when we're using these type of kits, we can learn a lot of things. Your 3-year-olds can do some color sorting. Okay, my olders, right, my 5th graders can now say, okay, how can I build and then improve on it? And going into, say, high school age could do kind of a speed competition as far as how quickly they could build something. And they could also really talk about what I was talking about before, what the product, the product stability, and like do some experimentation around like heat, and could also do a quality control, a QC thing. For those of y'all who don't know, I used to be a QA, QC chemist back in the day, and a lot of times companies will hire a scientist not to necessarily create this stuff, but to analyze and look at. I don't know if you can see here. This one has some difference in coloring, right? And so that's another activity that your elder students can do. Like I said, these things, yes, you may see some of this stuff. It's also like slime. So the reason why I continue to make slime on my channel and the different pages and stuff, because even though it looks sticky and messy, you really can be learning something from it. All right, so like I said, there's just a picture here. So I'm going to attempt, let me show you all the picture so you can see it. Okay. I'm going to attempt to work it out based on the picture. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like I said, spokes. Okay. So it's looking like our foundational piece is a green piece, okay? That's laying flat. And then I'm going to add, like I said, this particular product, not real expensive. Yes, I did get it on Amazon. I know we have our different feelings about Amazon. They're going to take over the world, yada yada. But sometimes that's just where I can get my stuff. So, first thing we're going to learn about is the concept of stability, right? Can things, is it strong enough to sit here? Okay. Also, there's a lesson in being able to understand how things are spaced out. Okay. In this picture up close, it's a bit easier to see on Instagram. When I'm going to do the ones standing up, it's actually every other. Okay? So it's not all of them. Okay? And thinking about just some simple math project, right? So I've got every other. If I had 8 total, every other means I've only got 4 now on this layer. Okay? So now, if I want to put something here, thinking logically, not just looking at the picture, but thinking logically, I need to now do some spokes, right? I need to now connect. Also, if I'm going to try to follow the instructions, even though I have other pieces available to me, I'm getting out, if I'm practicing following instructions and trying to recreate, again, here's one that's like a little odd, right? Again, things that you can do with your older ones, okay? If I'm trying to recreate the picture, I'm going to use green pieces. Now, as you can see, there are technically a couple of different kinds of green in the kit. Yeah. All right. So, ideally, if these are made properly, okay, if they went through some form of quality control, so see how we've made something pretty quickly. Make something out of purple. But let's think of a challenge, right? Let's say I want to, if I had mass pieces, this would really be a great thing, and I did do that, or rather, a representative of ours did that with our Bronx students this week. You know, the challenge was to build something of a certain height that could hold a certain amount of mass, right? So you see how that's math, that's science, that's engineering, all that stuff together, because these are pieces of technology, right? Okay, so let's try to make something predominant, made of 3 colors, that is able to stand up and that is able to be about yay high. Right? Like a floating platform. Let's see, will this balance? No, it's not going to balance. Okay? Because the mass is too heavy, it's not balanced. But if I had made something to come up to here, right? You see how it would have been more sturdy. Okay? So yeah, so anywho, different little things can be created. Alright, now, yeah? So now, next thing that we're going to do is make paint. Anyone who's ever taken a class from me knows that I enjoy making paint from things that really are just not typically considered paint. But we all know if it has pigment and it will stick to paper, guess what? We call it paint at Science Club. That's just how it is, alright? So let's grab a few materials and see what we get. Okay, so we've got water. There we go. As you can see, I told you this focus is a bit better. Okay, so water should focus. Come on, focus. There we go. Water, foam paintbrush. Hey, Ready Retreat. I hope I'm saying your handle properly. If I don't say your handle properly, don't leave it. Please correct me. Lovingly correct me, but please correct me. All right, and some paper. I know, I'm really working this up and leaving this as a mystery as far as what we're going to be mixing here. We are going to make orange paint, because if you've been watching me for any amount of time, you know that orange happens to be my second favorite color. I tested this earlier trying to make a purple one, and purple doesn't actually come out very well because of the acidity of the main ingredient. Yes, you're saying to yourself, glue. Isn't glue for slime? We're not making slime, Miss Steph. No, we're not making slime because we don't need to make slime every science session. Okay? But yeah, like I said, this is a little bonus activity. Okay? We have made various kind of paints, okay, on Saturday Science with Miss Steph, okay? And our paint definition is anything that's pigmented and it sticks to the thing you're trying to paint, okay? So I am trying to paint a piece of paper, and so yeah, all right. So I've just got some glue here, and like I said, remember I wanted it to be kind of shiny. I'm going to show you what happened with my tester to let you know whether or not this works, and you can tell me how your sample works. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Using 5, the amount is pre-tested. Okay, I know that 5 is a good amount. Yes. How much do we love the fact that this webcam over here on Facebook, right, will let me do what is that? Up close things, right? We'll focus. Okay. All right. So there we go. Let's get focus, and we're going to add. We're adding some water. You'll notice I'm going to add about, right, I'm estimating, okay, again, using my math skills, okay, I'm estimating, so I have a certain amount of blue, and then I'm estimating what it looks like to add that an equal amount, an equal part of water, okay. This water is room temperature water. I mean, it's winter here in New York City, so it's cold-ish. It's like on the cold side of whatever room temperature is, but it's not it's not from the fridge, and it's not hot. Okay. Again, for those of you wondering, Miss Steph, purple's your favorite color. Why aren't we making purple? I tried purple earlier, and because of the chemistry of the glue, it's actually one of those things that's a little harder to make in purple. Okay. A substance that's pigmented that will stick to your thing, to your base, right? So of course, I've got a little paper towel so I don't make too much of a mess. Okay. If I've got glue at home, and maybe a family member is telling me, no, if you make one more batch of slime, you and I are going to have words, right? Instead of making slime, make paint and make a piece of art for them. Okay? It's December. There are various family holidays that are coming up, or have already come up, or have already started. Okay? Yeah. Okay? So do we see the shine that I'm getting? I'm going to hold up things because, again, I've got my brand new setup, and so you can actually see things a lot better. Okay? And this bowing, you'll see on my other sample, actually will reverse. Right? We know that when we wet paper, it tends to kind of bow up. Okay? And I have some other colors that I'll demonstrate for you. Okay? So yeah, you see that kind of shine I'm getting? It's shiny now, but will it stay shiny? A couple of things. All right, so now let's look at this. There's a bit of a shine. You see that shine that we're getting here? Okay, this one, I made this one about 2 hours ago. Okay, real nice shine, but it's a different kind of shine. It's not the high gloss that you got before, right? It's not the high gloss that you see when you're first putting it on. So that's another thing that lets us know that art and science go together, right? Looking at how things change as they dry, as they go from their liquid state to then drying on a piece of paper. What does that look like? Okay? Then for those of you wondering, well, do I have to add the water? What difference does that make? This sample, as this is the blue that I had to add water to during our session, right? Because I made one earlier. This is the blue with just 5 drops of food coloring and some glue. Okay? The black, which by the way, you see how the black really shows up very well, quite nicely. Okay? The black, I added water to, so you see how that spreads easier, and all that type of stuff. The glue one, of course, holds its shape, but it's a lot harder to spread. It's like, right? Which makes sense, because it's a thicker, it's a more viscous substance. Viscosity, okay, is how easy things pour, right? Or how easily you can spread something. Okay? So anywho, it's been fun, y'all. I mean, we did a couple of activities right. I got some great ideas over here on Insta. Ilana, did you have anything that you wanted to suggest or add if you're still on? Yeah, so we went over a little bit, but we didn't do like, too crazy. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining me for the 50th episode of Science with Mr. Right? It was great having you. Today, we had some fun with Creative Flakes, okay, which is the equivalent of a Lego or any type of challenges. And we got to see how building something from the manual or the idea booklet then helped us be creative and expand, right? Yeah. And then we built something. I'm going to respond to that, Ilana. And then we made our own paint. Now, I have someone over here on Facebook who hasn't watched in a little while and doesn't know that you don't need a paintbrush. If you have permission of an adult family member, okay, you can use your fingers. You can use your hands. It's glue, so it will come off. It'll rinse off. Just make sure you use a lot of water when you're rinsing it down the sink, so that, one, it comes off, and two, it doesn't gunk up the plumbing, okay? So you can use your hands. You can also use a spoon. I used spoons when I painted this. Okay? When I did this one, I used spoons. Going back to my issue with the purple, this was my attempt at purple. So you see how it's kind of a bit more red and kind of a brownish, which is, I mean, it's a beautiful color, but it's not the color I intended. Okay? But yeah, you can totally do other tools to instead of a paintbrush, because the idea is to let you have paint at home without having to buy paint, right? You can make it. If you got some food coloring and some form of liquid, you would paint. Okay? I hope you have had a wonderful time like I did. Like, y'all were awesome. Thank you so much for joining me. This is Steph from Triple F Empowerment Inc. We operate Miss Steph Science Club, and we are, as I mentioned at the very tippy top, we are coming in to end of year, and we definitely invite you to participate in breaking barriers at mock speed with us by making a contribution. You can do that online, or you can send me a DM to get information about our address and all that type of stuff. I will have the links for all of that in the descriptions and whatnot and what have you. All right? For those of you who are watching this replay on YouTube tomorrow, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Have an absolutely awesome day.